Establishing Panavert de Radar Precorded.
Log entry, comms mast aligned, measuring anchor torque and soil shear. Result, leak is low but present, one flange warming unevenly.
Leak is low but not zero, one flange warms unevenly under sun. Preparing to inflate Hab 1 and lock its rigid ribs into place.
Cycle the airlock for the first time and listen for seal chatter. Read array volt/amps. Result, leak is low but not...
Checking leak rate in pascals per minute, joint temperature and suit pressure delta. The
Comms mast alignment confirmed, checking heater exhaust temp, CO2 scrubber delta P, and cabin humidity. We have rising resistance here, now preparing to cycle the airlock.
Verificator hand take.
Deploying the first solar blanket and brushing dust off the connectors. Scanning berm height. The seal holds, but the inner door squeaks. Preparing heater startup.
Heater startup confirmed. Routing insulated hoses. Scanning berm height and dust load. Numbers pass within margins.
Comms mast aligned. SNR is good. Link established. Preparing solar blanket deployment now.
Deploy the first solar blanket and brush dust off the connectors. Read array volt/amps, inverter status LEDs, and...
Unpacking stage Hab anchor kits along the perimeter. Firefight unit hands like this. Section complete. Comms mast raised and aligned. Now measuring anchor torque, tether tension, and soil shear with the handheld gauge. Leak sweep complete, berm effective, but persistent eddies noted near the step. Proceeding to deploy solar blanket 1 and clear dust from connectors.
Solar blanket deployed and connectors brushed clear.
Cycled airlock, check, scan berm height, wind direction, and dust load. Result, tether holds, reel needs damping. Next, prepare to build low regolith berm. Systems check initiated. Mast aligned, locked. Airlock diagnostics, pressure ramp okay, latch alignment okay. All checks pass. Scanning berm height and wiction.
Deploy the first solar blanket and brush dust off the connectors. Compare leak rate, joint temperature, and suit pressure delta.
Comms check.
Check heater startup and route out insulated hoses to the life support rack. Confirm heater exhaust temperature. The CO2...
Deploy the first solar blanket and brush dust off the connectors. Check comms SNR, pointing angle, and beacon timestamp drift.
Anchor kits staged along the perimeter. Leak rate now, temperature stometer.
Aligning the comms mast using the horizon reference pins. Check leak rate and soup.
Comms mast alignment complete. Horizon reference pins are locked. Running diagnostics on the anchor torque now. Reading nominal shear strength.
Winch load steady at 8 to 5%. Rover is clear of the soft patch. Wait, sudden pressure drop in the hab. Applying foam sealant. The leak is localized at the filter housing. CO2 levels are dropping back to nominal green. Heater startup confirmed. Comms check shows usable power, though it fluctuates with the dust. We are preparing the regolith berm windbreak.
Tracing a sudden pressure dip by spraying leak foam on suspect seams. The bubbles point to a hairline gap. Winch engaged for Rover 1 recovery. Aligning the comms mast using the horizon reference pins.
CO2 drops back into green. The clogged filter looks like red powder.
Seal holds, though the inner door squeaks. Lubrication will be needed. End of SOLOG. Reviewing methane pressure, power margin, and comms backlog. Systems holding stable. Wait, methane spike detected. Unknown alert, Sector 4.
Cycling the airlock. Listen for seal chatter. Confirming heater exhaust temp and cabin humidity. Link established. The audio crackles. Preparing to extend the solar blanket. Output rises. A gust flips grit onto connectors, and I note abrasion risk. Next, prepare to build a low regolith berm as a windbreak.
Leak is low but not zero. One flange warms unevenly under the sun. We are preparing to string a tether line from the airlock to the equipment cache. Cycle the airlock and listen for seal chatter. Results pass within margins, but fine dust clings to every gasket edge. Now preparing to unpack Hab 1 anchor kits. Log airlock pressure ramp rate, door latch alignment, and O-ring temp.
Unpacking and staging anchor kits. Sounds like a stable.
Compare leak rate SAT, joint temperature, and suit pressure delta. Result, leak is low but not zero. One flange warms unevenly under sun.
Squeeze burner. Rover runs.
Confirmed heater exhaust temp and cabin humidity. Link is established, though audio crackles. Now building the regolith berm. Checked array volts and amps, inverter status, and battery state of charge. Leak is low but not zero. Check. Measure tether tension and soil shear with the handheld gauge. Result. Link is established. Next, prepare to unpack Hab 1 anchor kits.
Reading array volts and amps, checking battery state of charge. Result, leak is low but not zero. One flange warms unevenly under the sun.
Deploying the solar blanket and brushing dust from connectors. Verifying tether knots and carabiner gates. The tether holds, but the reel chatters in low gravity.
Tether deployed to cache. Logging airlock pressure ramp rate and O-ring temperature.
Cyclometer.
Cycle the airlock for the first time. Measure anchor torque, tether tension, and soil shear with the handheld gauge. Result: leak is low but not zero. Log wind speed, pressure trend, and static field on the sensor pack. A cold signature appears, likely an ice lens, but confirmation needs drilling later.
Checking relay RSSI, packet loss, and line of sight obstruction angle. Result: rover passes.
Power up, Rover.
The rover passes, but the cold is slowing the servos. Steering feels sticky. We are preparing to drive a slow perimeter loop to map safe paths.
Driving a perimeter loop, mapping safe paths. Thermal gradient and drill motor load nominal. The jam clears, output returns, but connectors show abrasive wear marks. Next, inspect solar blanket hinges.
Station reports rising gusts and static spikes. Prepare for emergency return sequence. Follow tether markers back to the airlock.
Relay helps, audio clears, though delays still force me to decide alone. Preparing to install the weather station tripod.
Verify rover battery temperature, wheel current draw, and mast cam feed latency. Result: cold signature appears, likely an ice lens. Confirmation needs drilling later.
Power up Rover 1, run steering self-test. Collecting a regolith sample now for perchlorate screening.
Clearing a dust jam with a soft brush. The return drill succeeds. My heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide.
Running steering self-test and loading recon route. Check hinge torque and array output. Results show oxidizers sample sealed.
Action. Drive with a slow perimeter loop to map safe paths and soft regolith patches. Return drill succeeds. My heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide. Prepare to scan a shaded trench with thermal camera to hunt.
Station to Rover 1, wind speeds increasing rapidly. We show a static spike. Abort current task and initiate emergency return drill via tether markers.
Array hinge torque 15.2 Newton meters. Dust mass 4.1 grams. Warning, deep regolith patch. Rover self-test initiated.
Rover 1 power-up successful, initiating steering self-test. Logging sensor data, nominal.
Ground temp 20 Celsius. Drill load 85%. Protect. Warning.
Reading the thermal gradient and drill motor load. The route is usable, though one patch behaves like flour and swallows the boots. Preparing to scan a shaded trench.
Return drill succeeds.
Data burst active. Checking pressure trend, wind gust peaks, and static spikes. Result confirms a building dust front. Time for contingency prep.
The route is usable, though one patch behaves like flour and wants to swallow the boots.
Station reports rising gusts, static spikes when dust devils pass. Next, prepare to drive a slow perimeter loop to map safe paths and soft.
Driving a perimeter loop to map safe paths, checking wheel sync depth and traction alarms. The screening flags oxidizers, the sample stays sealed. Now preparing the comms relay puck.
Comms relay deployed behind the ridge.
Monitor pseudo-2 reserve and confirm beacon pings. The return drill succeeds. My heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide.
Power up Rover 1, run steering self-test, and load a short recon route. Return drill succeeds. Next, prepare to inspect solar blanket hinges and clear a dust jam.
inspection complete. Dust cleared from blanket array. Torque measurements nominal and array output recovered. Noted fine regolith consistency near the trench. Deploying thermal imager now.
Logging wind speed, pressure trend, and static field. A cold signature appeared, likely an ice lens, but confirmation requires drilling later.
Checking relay RSSI and packet loss. Okay, the jam clears, output returns, but connectors show abrasive wear marks.
Ruffle at both servos. Steering feels sticky.
We've completed the emergency return practice and are testing the sample. The pH and oxidizer indicators show a cold signature, like
Practice emergency return, following tether markers back to the airlock. Check dust mass on the cloth.
Return drill succeeds. My heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide. NEXT, prepare to deploy a small comms relay puck behind a ridge to
Comms relay deployed and active. Beacon pings confirmed, but noted abrasive wear marks on the connectors. Preparing the weather station tripod next.
Deploy a small comms relay puck behind a ridge to reduce dropouts. Log winds.
Power 1, run steering self-test. Result, jam clears, output returns, but connectors show abrasive wear marks.
relay helps. Audio clears, though delays still force me to decide alone. Next, prepare to scan a shaded trench with a thermal camera to hunt for near surface.
Running the perimeter loop now. Thermal gradient checks look good, but we're seeing rising gusts and static spikes as the dust devils pass. Preparing to inspect the solar blankets.
Mission log updates. Rover for progress at advancing steering the circuit.
Drilled a shallow core to confirm the cold signature. Core temp reads -63 Celsius. The core sample
Monitor suit O2 reserve and confirm beacon pings. Result, root is usable, one patch behaves like flour and wants to swallow boots.
A cold signature appears, likely ice lens, but confirmation needs drilling later. Next, prepare to drive a slow perimeter loop.
Compare wheel sync depth, IMU tilt, and traction alarms on the tablet. The route is usable, one patch behaves like flour and wants to swallow boots.
Ground temperature at -20 Celsius. Drill motor load nominal. Gusts increasing. Preparing Rover 1 self-test.
Power up Rover 1, run steering self-test, and load a short recon route. Check thermal gradient and drill motor load. Return drill succeeds.
Rover passes, but cold slows the servos. Steering feels sticky.
Vision hit link hitlessly at tilt detection alarms.
Solar blanket hinges are clear. RSSI at -65 M. Packet loss nominal. Significant abrasive wear on the connectors noted. Proceeding with the perimeter loop.
Drive a slow perimeter loop to map safe paths. Log wind speed, pressure trend, and static field. Drill succeeds, my heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide.
Install the weather station tripod and raise its anemometer mast. Log wind speed, pressure trend, and static field on the sensor pack. Return drill succeeds.
Mission log update. Verifying rover battery temperature and wheel current draw. Screening flagged oxidizers, so the sample remains sealed.
Return drill succeeds. My heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide. Next, prepare to drive a slow perimeter.
Checking wheel sync depth, IMU tilt, and traction alarms on the tablet. Screening flags oxidizers, the sample stays sealed. Prepare to practice emergency return.
Practice electricity return. Following Tether to our dietary smites now.
Deploying a small comms relay puck behind the ridge. The return drill succeeds. My heart rate rises faster than the suit fan can hide.
Reading thermal gradient, ground temp at 10 centimeter, and drill motor load. Result, route is usable, one patch behaves like flour and wants to swallow boots.
Relay helps, audio clears, though delays still force me to decide alone. Prepare to inspect solar blanket hinges and clear a dust jam with a soft.
Rover passes, but the cold is slowing the servos. Steering feels sticky. Next, deploying the comms relay puck behind the ridge. Rover passes, but cold slows the servos. Steering feels sticky. Preparing to scan a shaded trench with the thermal camera now.
Relay helps, audio clears, though delays still force me to decide alone. Prepare to scan a shaded trench with thermal camera to hunt for near surface.
Thermal scan complete on Trench 5. RSSI stable, minor packet loss. Confirming.
Mission log update. Rover 1 self-test complete, systems green. Wind and pressure nominal. Route initiated, noting low density.
The dust jam on the solar blanket is cleared. Readings are nominal, but we noted abrasive wear on the connectors. Now initiating emergency return drill via Tether.
Regolith sample collected. Wind speed and pressure logged on the sensor pack. The relay helps, but delays still force me to decide alone. Preparing the comms relay puck.
Comms mast reseated, winch engaging. Power draw is steady, we have movement. Noted scuff on the EVA suit, deploying patch.
We have restarted the CO2 scrubber and swapped the clog tree filter. Night mode is starting. Systems steady.
Action. Trace a sudden pressure dip by spraying leak foam. Check. Confirm cabin pressure. Result. CO2 drops back into green. The clogged filter looks like red powder.
Restart the CO2 scrubber and swap a clogged pre-filter cartridge. The bracket tightens and comms stabilize, but the wind grows sharper.
Bubbles point to a hairline gap. Manageable if I can warm the seal. Next, prepare to restart the CO2 scrubber.
Bubbles point to a hairline gap. Manageable if I can warm the seal. Preparing to trace a sudden pressure dip by spraying leak foam.
Sills, default by that glycol cleals.
Winch engaged. Rover 1 extracted. CO2 levels confirmed green. Switching to night power budget and preparing for thermal sleep.
Airlock repressurization cycle complete. Checking winch load, anchor torque, and wheel current. Winch engaged. Rover is free.
Recovering Rover 1 from a soft patch using a winch line and anchor. Verifying mast alignment, SNR improvement, and bolt torque on the bracket.
Action, fold and secure solar blankets. Check clamp locks, line tension, and battery discharge rate. Result, arrays secure. Next, prepare to seal the airlock.
Airlock sealed. Running repressurization cycle now. Verifying torque on the bracket. System steady, but wait, sudden pressure dip detected. Applying leak foam to the seams.
Patch applied and secured with overwrap. Adhesion is good. Leak alarm threshold reads nominal. Preparing for CO2 scrubber pre-filter replacement.
Bubbles point to a hairline gap. Manageable if I can warm the seal.
The CO2 drops back into green. The clogged filter looks like red powder. Next, we prepare to seal the airlock outer hatch and run a cycle.
Pressure dip located at joint 4B.
Mission log update. Airlock equalization complete. Humidity spike noted during recovery. O2 flow nominal. Rover is secure.
Decay is steady, but we have an... Switch to night power budget, initiating thermal sleep mode. Inspecting patch adhesion and glove fin grips. O2 makeup holding steady. Cycle complete. Noted some tracks on the inner hatch.
Rover 1 is clear of the soft patch. CO2 levels are back in the green, but the primary filter is heavily coated in red dust.
Rover 1 successfully extracted from soft patch. Winch anchor held firm. Preparing for ingress.
Mission log. Entering Hab 1. Switching to night power budget, initiating thermal sleep mode. Checked patch adhesion and glove fingertips.
Restart the CO2 scrubber and swap a clogged pre-filter cartridge. Check winch load, anchor torque, and rover wheel current during pull. CO2 drops back into green. Cycle complete. Seals hold, yet a faint whistle keeps me listening. Preparing to reseat a loose comms mast bracket that is vibrating.
Pressure decay steady at 320 ppi per minute. Joint temps are critical. The bracket is secured and comms are stable. The wind is sharp.
Recovering Rover 1 using the...
Winch load holding. Rover's moving. Hold on, we have a rapid depressurization event near the airlock. Applying sealant.
Bubbles point to a hairline gap, manageable if I can warm the seal. Next, prepare to recover Rover 1 from a soft patch using a winch line.
Winch line to Rover 1.
Final systems check before sleep cycle. Power stable, pressure nominal.
Wait, methane levels are increasing rapidly. Unknown alert detected.